Hello, everyone. We welcome you to the end of season recap. I'm Matt Fusillo. I'm joined by Andrew Rich. Andrew, what a season it's been.
Yeah, it's been a really fun one, and glad to have spent it with an amazing crew, an amazing team, and looking forward to next year.
We're live from Winston-Salem, the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex, and Maryland just lost to Rider in the playoffs about 45 minutes ago, and they lost 8-2. Andrew, what are your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I thought they started really well. I thought the Terps came out with more of a jump and with more speed and more urgency. They got on the board first with that Trevor Drake goal, and then it just slowly kind of started to tumble downhill. And as it got later into the second period, the score just kind of started to get away from them. And you could really feel when they came out in the third period, the urgency just wasn't there. And they gave up that early goal in the third period. I believe it was Blazak who scored that one, and that kind of put the nail in the coffin for the Terps.
We wanted to recap that game, and we also want to recap the entire year. So we'll start with some of the tough losses, then we'll get into some of the better ones. It's been up and down this season.
Absolutely.
So you look at games like Rowan, that 6-0 loss.
Yeah.
They lost twice to Millersville. The Dayton-Louisville trip, they did win a game, but they lost two. So tough losses like those. Going
back to that Rowan game, I remember getting on the bus after that game and talking to Coach Carter, and I don't know, obviously he doesn't show all that much expression when he's talking to us, but he was upset after that game just with the effort level and a game that they felt they could have won. And the same thing goes for those Millersville games. Those were two games against a team that didn't have those big wins that matter so much in the ACC with how much strength of schedule matters. And those wins, if they were able to get those wins, that could have put them in a different spot here coming into the playoffs. But that's how it goes, and they were in the position they were in. But I thought overall those losses contributed to how this season went. So,
and it really could be, a game of momentum as well. You talk about the Rowan game, one of the worst losses of the year. That was the day after Maryland beat Rider on their military appreciation night.
Exactly.
Then, you look at the Dayton-Louisville trip. I believe they lost the Dayton game and then beat Louisville, then lost to Louisville the next day. So stuff like that, a lot of momentum.
And,
right?
I mean, we've talked about how close this ACC is, especially in our division in the Premier. It feels like any team can beat any team on any given night, which makes it fun to watch. But also, I mean, it's tough for a team like the Terps to play against, those Delaware teams and Rider and Rowan and all these teams that just they work hard, and those are tough games that present themselves every year.
So those are the bad moments. We got those out of the way.
Yeah.
Now, some of the good moments. Let's just go straight to opening night. That was a great night.
That was awesome. I mean, obviously that was my first experience with calling a game, so I was definitely a little jittery going into that one, but it didn't take long. As soon as the puck dropped, I felt comfortable, and you were obviously extremely helpful in that, and that was an awesome night. I'll never forget that.
Maryland played James Madison on opening night, and the next day at home it was Georgetown. So 2 wins to start the year. Good team wins getting into the season. Good for us with media. Got a lot of views, and everything was firing on all cylinders pretty fast in the year.
Yeah, it was. Those two teams I don't think we'll see next year, just with how much strength of schedule matters in the ACC. I don't think we'll see teams like JMU or Georgetown, but that was a good way to kick off this season and get two, kind of confidence wins under your belt. And then they went to on the Dayton and Louisville trip.
Talk about big wins. That was opening weekend. Go on to West Virginia, which was the third weekend of the season. Big road trip there. Terps took 2 over the Mountaineers. You look at the Rider Military Appreciation Night that we just talked about. And then a game at the ACC Showcase, beating NC State for the second year in a row. You look at the Maryland Senior Night against Stevenson. That was a big win. So they've had a fair share of big wins this year.
Yeah, and going back to that NC State game at the Showcase, you were on the call solo for that one. I think I was working the camera, but that was one of the most fun games I've got to watch, and Henry Peltier was on another planet that night, and I remember talking to him after that game. I believe you asked him, you were like, was that the best game you've played in college? And he said 100% yes. So I think that was a storyline throughout the whole year was how much Henry Peltier meant to this team and how well he played and how solid he was throughout the whole year.
Peltier, big game that day. I remember Travis Duchesne had 2 goals,
Yeah.
and speaking of which, honoring the seniors. Those are 2 of them.
Yeah.
Travis is a graduate student. Henry's a senior. You got Jason Steinberg, Max Newnham, Matthew Kravitsky, Trevor Drake,
Patrick Beganowski,
the captain. So Terps are losing a lot of players.
And they're losing a lot of like character guys too. Those are vocal, emotional leaders in the locker room and on the ice. So that's always tough. But you still have guys like Daniel Tomaszewski and Brian Teskey, Tucker Healy coming back. So they'll definitely have to replenish a little bit, but there's still a good core group of guys to look forward to watching again next year.
Talk about Daniel Tomaszewski. You just mentioned there's been a lot of records and milestones and great moments. You know, Max Newnham breaking the Maryland goals record and points record, and then just picking up right where he left off last season into this season, scoring so many goals. He wins forward of the year for ACC. Daniel Tomaszewski gets a scholarship presented by Mike Wally, who presented it at senior night and tonight before the playoff game. So
super cool.
Really special for these players, and they're definitely making a big impact. Yeah,
I remember before the season started, right when I had first met you, we were talking about the team and the players that they had, and you had mentioned Max's name, and I was so excited to watch him, and my expectations were high, and he smashed them, which I didn't think was possible, but he was just such a special player to watch, and to watch him work out there and gel with him and Trevor Drake together was so special to watch, and definitely something I'm going to miss next year.
Well, there were a lot of good wins, some bad losses, and want to thank everyone watching this, and we appreciate all of your support, and it's been really encouraging, and everyone's been welcoming to the media team, all the players and coaches. We want to thank them for their support, and you know, we've been on plenty of road trips, and it's been just so fun.
It really has. It's super special getting to, you know, we mentioned the road trips, getting to travel with the guys on the bus and, you know, going out to team dinners. It's something I miss that I used to have back when I played, and something I've got to have a taste of here with the Maryland team, and something I'll always cherish.
I remember when I first joined with the team, this is my third season, so going into my first year, there really was no media team. So Maryland Hockey Network didn't exist, and I really saw potential for this club that we can seriously grow the program. And Andrew's here now. We got a bunch of managers. We got 3 game day managers. We got 2 photographers now, an entire stats department. We also have Benji helping us out.
Yeah.
And
it's only up from there.
Things have really taken off. So that's what we're going to keep doing moving forward. I'm going to be gone, but he'll be back, and we're going to keep this program trending in the right direction. Media team will continue to grow, and I like what I'm seeing. I hope you're excited.
I can't wait. I mean, it's going to be different without having you and Benji and Ethan here, but there's so much potential, like you said, that you've created for this program and this media team, and I just can't wait to, you know, get the applications out, get the interview process started, and try to find new team members for next year. It's going to be awesome.
And speaking of applications, I think you may have a story to share.
I do have a story to share. When I first heard about this job opportunity, it was on the listserv that went out to all the journalism students, and I'm in the journalism school, so I saw it. And as soon as I saw it, I remember texting my parents being like, I mean, I have to do this, right? Like, it couldn't have been more up my alley. And
you wanted to study abroad too, right?
I was thinking about studying abroad, and that obviously changed when I got this. But I remember, texting my parents, and they were like, yeah, you have to. You absolutely have to. And I applied. I sent in the application, and remember getting an email from Matt a few days later about an interview. And we hopped on Zoom, had the interview. I didn't know what to expect going in, but it was awesome. And then it was maybe like a week after that. I hadn't heard back yet, and I was actually in the Capitol building down in D.C. with some friends. We were taking a tour, and I got a call. I was standing literally in the Capitol Rotunda, like looking up at the artwork on the ceiling, and my phone buzzes, and I look, and it's Matt Fusillo. So I answer, and he said, "Hey, Andrew, just want to let you know that we thank you for your application and your interview. We really liked you, but we've decided to go with other people for this job." And I was like, "Yeah, it sucks, but all right." And then he goes, "Nah, I'm kidding." He's like, "We would love to have you. Welcome to the team." And I knew right away I was coming into a fun work environment and a really close-knit group of people, and that's exactly what I found here. And honestly, it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you for bringing me on once again.
Yeah, it's been really fun, and it's really been a testament to just the progress that this club has made, the media team, and you know, it's just fun being with the guys. And I think that's a good pivot to our favorite and least favorite rinks, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I think for starters, what we got right behind us here is probably one of the best you'll see, at least that we've seen this year.
Great booth.
unbelievable booth. Yeah, I don't want to leave.
Yeah. I think Fred Russ Arena's up to Delaware.
Yeah.
That was great.
Absolutely.
Penn State is great if you're on their main rink.
Hopefully we'll get to I know they're on the schedule next year. We'll see what rink we're playing on, but definitely looking forward to that. And then what on the other side of things? West Virginia. Logsdon. Yeah, even our home rink.
Yeah. Let's hope for a lot of Patrick games next year. All of you watching, better be the Patrick rink.
Yeah, it better be. I don't need to be freezing my butt off in Logsdon anymore.
Oh, yeah. And then you look at, some of the team events that we've had, whether it's media events, team events. The first few weeks of school, we were at the first Look Fair.
Yeah.
That was huge. We decided to do a jersey giveaway. We gave away one of the old Maryland white jerseys. And just the amount of students. We have 40,000 students in the Maryland campus.
It's a lot of people.
We were just yelling, handing out flyers. We had, I was there. We have one of our managers there. Patrick Beganowski, Daniel Tomaszewski, they came to help out. Just handing out flyers, yelling at students, just telling them we have a hockey team and commenting our jersey giveaway. We got a lot of followers that day.
I believe we got like 200 Instagram followers in one day, and I think that's when I realized that like we have something that people enjoy watching and want to be a part of.
Might have been 300.
Something like that,
yeah. It was crazy.
It was really cool to see.
And then you look at, other events such as Media Day with Rob Raymer and Esther Francis, all their great photos and the players getting involved. It's, things are trending in the right direction.
Yeah, I think just going back to Media Day, I think that was such a huge opportunity for the media team to just kind of get creative and try out things that, I don't know, that was an experience that I had never had before doing like a Media Day like that. But we got to try so many things with, filming guys doing different celebrations and taking cool pictures and playing pong and like silly stuff like that. It was really cool, and that's we threw the skates on. We got to get out there with the guys, and that was a really awesome experience.
What do you think are your takeaways from this season as a whole?
Ooh. Well, I had never had any experience with broadcasting before this experience this year, and I definitely solidified in my mind that this is something that I love and that I enjoy, and getting to be creative and getting to try new things and having creative freedom has been huge and has provided us with so many opportunities to do things that we never thought we could do. And, that comes down to just people tuning in and people watching and supporting us, and the coaches being there for us always, and the players, everyone, all the families we've met this year. I've only been here for 1 year, and I feel like literally everyone I've met has been so great, so kind, and so gracious to me and to the rest of the media team. And just a huge thank you to everyone who has supported us this year.
Thank you to everyone. I remember my first game with the Maryland team. It was a few years ago, and Maryland Hockey Network wasn't created yet again, so that didn't exist at the time. I literally just showed up to the rink, and I didn't know what I was going to be doing. James Witherite from Delaware was there because we played Delaware. It was actually at the Bowie Ice Arena where the Terps currently practice, so it wasn't even at the Gardens Ice House. And Maryland lost the game 7-0 in just 2 periods. And the reason why it was just 2 periods is because a pane of glass broke at the end of the second period, and they just didn't replace it. They literally just called the game after 40 minutes.
I think that's a statement of just how things just don't go our way sometimes when it comes to the broadcasts and all the stuff we've had to battle with Wi-Fi and cords not working. And we go back to the showcase, and quite literally after the first day, we were doing 12 games in one weekend. And after the first day, our soundboard decided to stop working. So for the rest of the weekend, we were just sitting in front of a computer, speaking into a computer, hoping people could hear us. But it was all worth it, and it worked out. The showcase was such a cool experience.
Yeah, I think that's definitely worth bringing up. The showcase was awesome. We want to thank the ACC and Commissioner Mike Wally for getting us that gig. And 12 games in 3 days was a lot.
It was.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And, all the off-ice officials watching the Maryland Hockey Network right next to us.
Yeah.
And talking about hits and everything, and just seeing all the families there from different teams. Ryder, one of the teams, where parents were really generous, and all the teams. I mean, we broadcasted a bunch of teams.
Yeah.
It was great.
All the people that came up to us, like we were sitting up there at the St. James, and just people curious about what we did and who we worked for, and it was really cool just to meet everyone, and that's definitely an experience I'll never forget for sure.
Definitely a lot of unfavorable conditions, as you mentioned. Wi-Fi
sure.
in the rinks, equipment. One of our pieces of equipment is literally taped to the wall behind the camera.
I wish you could see this. It's perfect. There's a piece of duct tape and it's just dangling there, but The
works.
things we do for the broadcast.
It's ACHA hockey, and we always make it work.
Unpredictable.
I remember another time, a lot of people know this story, but when we went to UNC Wilmington last season, we had 2 games in Wilmington, which is about a 6-hour drive south from College Park. And I was sitting in the front of the bus. I remember I looked back to the back of the bus, and I remember it was like hazy. it was like
It's not good.
it was like smoky on the inside the bus. And then the coaches started to notice. Everyone started to notice, and we had to pull over. The bus was like, I don't know if I want to say on fire, but the bus was literally smoking.
Yeah.
We had to stop in the middle of nowhere in Southern Virginia. We were stranded for 5 hours.
Unbelievable.
And so we were just waiting for the new bus to come, which came from College Park. We thought about actually canceling the game and just heading back home. But the players went straight to the rink. I think they had McDonald's for dinner. We lost in overtime.
Oh, my
Won
God.
the next day, though. It was good. And
That's unbelievable.
I remember we broadcasted the game inside the glass because there weren't even any bleachers there.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. It's moments with the team that you really – a lot of crazy stuff happens, but you make the most out of it.
Yeah.
And I think everyone has a laugh at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
It's just so fun.
Yeah, it really has been. I think just so thankful for this experience and looking forward to keeping it going next year. And, yeah, absolutely.
One last thank you to everyone watching. It's been a pleasure. This is my last game. Today was my last game calling Maryland. Andrew will be here next year. There's a bright future for Maryland Hockey Network, the Maryland hockey community, everything, and everyone that supported us this season and in the past. We thank you for everything that you've done, for welcoming us and our entire crew, and it's been a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to have big shoes to fill next year, but I'm going to try my best and give it my all and do everything we can to keep this going and keep what you've built, just keep improving it. So, yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Matt Fusillo, Andrew Rich. See you soon.
See ya.